all you heroes, hawks, heralds, crows, pirates, and wardens. Welcome to the Dragon Age Lorecast, where we unpack, discuss, and galaxy brain about all the lore behind the Dragon Age series.
We are so excited to bring you this podcast. Every episode, we'll be talking about a different topic in the Dragon Age universe. From character deep dives to exalted marches and elven gods, we will cover it all.
There will be spoilers. And always remember, swooping is bad.
Hello and welcome to the Dragon Age Lorecast, where we talk about Dragon Age and its lore. I am one of your hosts, Austin, also known as Teacup.
And I'm your other host, Shelby or Shecup.
And we're here with another patron chat, our monthly patron chats, and we have our lovely patrons here. And so before Shelby comes in and introduces our topic, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And so starting first, we have a returning patron, returning for his patron chat episode, the Wesbotron. Hello. And then we also have LVCC13.
Good morning.
Yes, good evening.
It's morning in my time zone.
And then we have the Capricorn Tower.
Capricorn Tower here, or Nick.
And then Jay Ambrosian.
Hello, I am Jay, or Ambrosian.
Yeah, and so we're glad that you're all here. And so, Shelby, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, so today, we're almost at the end of our current season. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but we've talked about all of the different members of the Evanuris or the elven pantheon. And so we just have a couple more episodes to wrap things up. I think just like two more, maybe one more. I have to look. Yeah, two more. So I thought it would be fitting if in this last patron chat of this season, we kind of discussed what Evanuris, what elven god we personally ourselves would want to follow. And then after the mid-break, we can kind of talk about which one we absolutely would not want to be associated with, like, at all. And so if you need a reminder, the Evanuris are Elgernon, Mythal, Dirthaman, Falandin, Siles, June, Finharel. Did I forget anyone?
I don't think so.
Okay, then that's everyone. I don't know if we need more information about which ones do what, but maybe if you are going first, like answering first for that specific god, you can kind of say just a little information about like what they do, what they're the god of, if you know that information. So who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go. So, kind of bounced around a lot with this one. At first, I was thinking Falandin because I like the Valisline for Falandin the best. Just a sort of like tree with the like little circle on the forehead. I don't know. It's just very simple and nice. I like it. Also, just kind of have a thing for animals that are said to ferry the souls of the dead into the afterlife. So like crows, owls. The technical term is psychopomp. On days where I think that I might actually have musical talent, I'm like, that would be my band name, Psychopomp. But I don't have musical talent. So, but when we get into the lore, I think Falandin's kind of a douchebag. So I don't know if I really want to follow that guy. So my backup was Dirthaman because he's a smarty pants, but he's also kind of creepy. So I just don't know if there's a good answer here. They're all kind of terrible in their own special ways. Yeah, that's what I got.
They are definitely all kind of assholes. But I don't know. Falandin is just kind of like, he feels very judgmental to me. Maybe that's the right word for it.
Yeah, and it's not confirmed, but given the lore that we have about him starting fights with Elgernon, and which is gigantic wars that have to be put to stop to, or else it like destroys the world essentially. I'm willing to bet that he probably had something to do with Mythal's death. So who's to say?
That's a fair point. Also, I should add, just for posterity, I did forget Gillenon and Andriel in my list. So those two are also options. I knew I was forgetting someone.
Which kind of comes in. I guess I can go next. I was going to say, at first I thought about Falandin, but then I was like, oh, but he is an asshole. And then I thought about, this is what I'm going to answer, because my answer is going to be Andriel, because I like the hunting aesthetic so much. I was a Percy Jackson kid, proudly Percy Jackson kid, and I always wanted to be a hunter of Artemis, but I can't do that because I'm a boy, and boys can't be hunters of Artemis. But I could worship Andriel and do that. So I'm just going to live my Percy Jackson fanfic in Dragon Age.
I feel you, Austin. I don't really get the Percy Jackson stuff, but that's fair. I don't really think there's a good answer here. There's not a good choice of who to worship and or who to follow even. They're all really horrendous options. So I just feel like we're picking this based on vibes, whoever you kind of oh, I like the things they've chosen for their pantheon. Whatever speaks to you. Don't feel like you have to pick the one that's least bad because you don't want to associate with a murderer. No, it's fine. They all suck. It's fine. So just a disclaimer there. Okay, Wes is going next. I'm declaring it.
I think I have a certain play style every time I go and play any type of RPG, and it's always boils down to what can I craft? What can I blacksmith? What can I build? So I would follow the glorious pantheon of June, god of the craft. I like building stuff. It's simple as that. I could spend hours in the Dragon Age Inquisition crafting menu, only because colors don't clash.
That's a mood. I've done that every playthrough. I mean, Austin always makes fun of me, but Ring Velvet, it's pristine. So I get it. I get that.
I was going to say, of the 1,000+ hours I put into the game, easily 10% isn't just crafting.
For sure. For sure. Speaking of June or June, the Crimson Knight also, he's not here tonight, but he also chose June as the one that he would be most interested in following. And he said that the elven god I would follow is probably June, the god of craft. When I was younger, I always was building things when I could. And even now, if I had the time and money, I feel like I'd be interested in whittling or forging. So yeah, he definitely agrees with you.
Yeah, I definitely have to echo the crafting thing in Inquisition. That was just every time I came back from anywhere, I was like, what can I make with all the shit that I got? I thought about June, but I am not a handy person, so it's not me.
I do enjoy the crafting in Dragon Age, in Inquisition. And at the same time, it also kind of renders merchants irrelevant. Because why would I go buy a weapon when I can just go spend, 4 hours in a random place saving and reloading to keep generating said resource? But I do like June too. I think of the problematic Evanuris, they're low on the list.
I mean, I don't know if we can really say that because and it's, to be fair, it's theory, but it's theorized that June is the one that started the wars with the dwarves or was a dwarf, so there's that. But we don't know.
I didn't say they weren't problematic. I said near the bottom of the list.
That's fair. I also was tempted by June, but because I do like to build things. I'm always doing a home project, always doing a DIY. However, I am also filled with rage literally all the time. And so I know that my answer has to be Elgernon. It just has to be because he is also filled with rage. And he's arguably probably one of the worst, I understand. However, I also really like the sun and like sit outside in the sun all the time. So I just feel a lot of kinship with him. Just really like the vibes of, he's the sun. He's got like the whole creation thing going on too. So I know Austin already knew that was going to be my answer. Who wants to go next?
I'm struggling with clicking the unmute button, apparently. I guess I can go?
Yeah.
I'll be a little bit of a wild card here. I was going to initially say Gilliman, mostly because I thought, oh, what if there's a way to observe the things she creates and try and deconstruct them, because she does create problems, some things that shouldn't be made. But then I thought, that sounds like a very Fenharel answer. To say, oh yes, follow this person so I can turn on them and fix the problems they're making. So I will have to go with our lovely egg, Fenharel. I've always kind of been, especially in my family, as the oldest kid, I've been the one kid that's always questioned everything, always pushed back, always been a bit of a disruptor. So to me, that makes it seem like Fenharel would be a good option to follow, because I could 100% see myself following someone who's like, yeah, let's tear down this pantheon because what they're doing is wrong. Although, of course, some of the things he's said, we have no way to fully fact check them. It would be an interesting experience, I think. And just for my personality, it fits. Like, I am filled with rage, but more rage against the establishment rage. So I would have to go with Fenharel.
I, not gonna lie, thought we should, or thought we would make it this whole episode with no one saying they would follow Fenharel. But that's okay. Because usually we're very anti-Solus on the patron chats. Maybe not anti, just not pro-Solus, pro-Fenharel.
Who's anti-Solus? I don't know who you could be talking about.
Bro.
We make fun of him all the time. That doesn't mean I'm not going to rebel against the egg either. But it just makes sense to follow sort of a rebel or a trickster god if you're someone who's never really followed the rules or liked listening to anybody anyways. So
yeah. Just looking at the chats, I know Wes is making fun of me saying that I love Solus. There are things I like about his character. There are things I don't like. So I guess I should clarify for the listeners, like, I'm not just an anti-Solus. I'm also not like super pro him either. But anyway, that's besides the point. So Lizzie, you're the only one?
Yeah, I think I'm the last one today. I would go with Mythal, actually, because maybe it's because I'm a middle child. I've always very much been into the idea of justice. Like, if something's not fair, like if my brother got to do something and I didn't get to do it, I would immediately be like, no, that's not fair. Why is he getting to do something I'm not? If it was explained to me, then I'd be okay with it. And my parents actually did pretty good at that. But the other reason I'm just like thinking from what we know in the game, it's like, she's a dragon. I love dragons. It's just really the main reason.
I think that's completely fair. I also, I don't know if we've even talked about this season, but I'm curious if all the other Evanuris also have that ability. We don't know because we've never met them. But if you take the theory that the old gods are the Evanuris, then they probably could turn into dragons too. So who knows?
I would say Mythal has rank number 2 in terms of Valisline that I like. It's just also very simple.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Hers is the only Valisline that I can actually do when I do stage makeup. The others are too complicated so far.
Yeah, especially the Elgernon one is so intense, which like it should be because he's intense. But also like I'm always just so struck by like most of them are like whimsical and like cute and aesthetically pleasing. And then you have Elgrenons that's like half of your face is tattooed. And yeah. Okay. So Austin, I think we're ready to go to the mid break.
Okay.
So you like to read? What's wrong with that?
It's frivolous. There are more important things for me to do.
That's just her favorite.
Nobody asked you, Tevinter.
I couldn't finish the last one you lent me. I actually feel dumber for having tried.
It's literature. Smutty literature. Whatever you do, don't tell Varric.
No offense, but might I try? I've got a quick hand, after all. Ha, let's see. Oh, when was the last time I slipped my hand into some dark hole? I remember. Long story, that.
You hurt my head sometimes, Solus.
Yes. I have been known to do that.
Well, welcome to the middle of the show where we take time to thank our patrons like our patrons we have here and all of our patrons who support us and do all of that. Thank you so much. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, you can do that at patreon.com/DALorecast and sign up at any tier there. You will need to sign up at the First Enchanter tier to come on these chats. If you can't do that, we totally get that. We know that's not for everyone. Another great way to support us is to leave us ratings and reviews on Apple or Spotify. And if you leave us 5 stars and some kind words, we will read it out on a future episode of the show. Shelby, do we have a review to read?
I don't know. We probably do, but let's just skip it this time.
Okay. So lastly, you can come hang out with us on Discord at the Cups Podcasting and More Discord. You can hang out with all of us there, chat with us, talk about Dragon Age, talk about a bunch of stuff. And then, it's just a great place to hang out, great place to be on the internet. And with that, I think that is all I have in the middle of the show, unless I forgot something, which Shelby looks at me like I did forget something.
I just didn't know if you wanted to shout out our new merch store. I guess it's not really new anymore, but our merch store.
You probably have heard, but we do have a merch store with some awesome merch and other things to go. It's Shelby and I ordered some stuff from it just a couple days ago, and it's pretty good. It's good quality, and I think it's really awesome, and there's lots of great stuff on there. You can find that at our website, cupspodcasting.com. Let's get back into it.
All right, let's do it.
Abominations are always so awkward at family reunions. Have you ever seen an abomination? They are ugly.
Dorian, those words you say, what do they mean?
What, you mean like mendicant? Ultimatum?
No arse when you're mad. Pishanti Kothas. You're swearing, I know it.
Vishanta Kafas. It's Tavine, relics of the old tongue. We still use the colourful phrases.
And it means what?
Literally, you shit on my tongue.
You fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
Okay, so second half of the show, we typically talk about who we would not ever want to follow under any circumstances. So I know that Wes put in the chat earlier that he definitely for sure knew who he did not want to follow. 1069% he knows. So I'm going to let him go first.
I do know. And some of you might be surprised with this, but I wouldn't follow. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I apologize for butchering it. Silaze. I have absolutely zero artistic side. I can't draw. I can't sing. I can't paint. I am absolutely terrible about anything to do with that. Like, I can't play Minecraft. It's bad. I just know that it'd be a terrible time for me if I followed this person.
Anyway, no, I think that's fair. I also probably would not want to follow Silaze either, just because she seems very much like a homebody, staying inside all the time, and that's like not really what I'm about. So I feel you. Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go. Who would I not follow? I feel like Andruel is maybe one of the most important of the Evanuris to the Dalish, especially in term because I feel like hunting is just such a big deal to a nomadic group of people. But I don't like knowing what I know about her pre-Dalish belief stuff. Absolutely not. She sounds completely crazy, and I just don't need that energy in my life.
She really does sound crazy, like and I guess it's not even sound crazy. Like she does literally go insane because she's hunting whatever she's hunting in the void and supposedly potentially brings back the blight. So like she actually has, madness. So I'm with you on that one.
There's also the potential connection to the old god Andorral, who was the old god of slavery. Love that. Don't know if that connection's going to be canonized or not, but it's distressing to say the least.
I don't know anything about this fan theory, and I've never even put two and two together about their names. Sound so similar. So why don't you tell everybody else about this fan theory if you have other knowledge? Because I'm curious.
Mostly it's just that the names sound similar. Yeah, it's mostly just the names. I can't think if I remember anything else at the moment, but yeah, it's just the names that I remember. I think there's other things, but I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, no worries. Who has not gone that would like to go next?
Okay, so I think the one I would not want to follow is Gillenon, if I'm correct in my memory, and she's the one who makes all the monsters. Because she kind of scares me. She's just a little bit terrifying. I don't think I would. That would just too much. Too much.
Yeah, like it would be one thing if they were cute animals, like cute and cuddly new pets, but like they're monsters. They're terrifying. Like it'd be one thing if it was like Pokemon, but it is not that at all. So I feel you on that one.
She also like Gillenon gives me the like vibes of like would hold protests that darkspawn are people.
Yeah, that one might be actually a fair point.
There is also the whole like experimentation thing, and that kind of takes away people's agency, and then you have body horror, so that's not great either.
Yeah, it's no good. No Gouda.
Yeah, just bad. Bad. Who hasn't gone in the second half?
I can share mine.
Sure.
I would choose Algernon just because, again, with the whole theme of the one kid that's always kind of a pain in everyone's side because always pushing back, always sort of rebelling. The leader gets it first. They get it first. I don't like people that are very intense in your face and very controlling and pushy. And that's Algernon. Algernon is the leader, very intense. I would not enjoy that at all, so I could not see myself following. For other reasons as well, because Algernon, of course, kills lots of people too. But I could not see myself following him.
We're on opposite sides of the discussion today, Ambrosian. That's okay. But like I do, he is totally an asshole, but also I like him. So I guess I'll go next. So I would definitely not at all want to follow Dirthaman, the Keeper of Secrets, because I am a certified yapper. Like I love to gossip and talk about people's details and just all that stuff, and I just wouldn't want to have to keep secrets from my friends. I want to be able to send that text that says, okay, so, and then launch into the tea. So It's a no for me with Dirthaman. Austin?
I think I am with you on Dirthaman. Shocking, Shelby and
hot
Austin
take.
agree.
Hot take.
Put that to
And
Apocalypse Bingo.
mainly because like I am a firm believer in that knowledge should not be something that is like hoarded or like kept secret or kept away. It is something that is meant to be shared and shared in a way where it's productive. So like there's a way of like sharing knowledge in unproductive ways. I'm not for that, but I am a firm believer in like, no, we should all have all the cards on the table at once. So I don't think I would be a big secret person.
So does that mean you're a certified yapper too, Austin?
I mean, sure, I am literally in a work gossip chain right now as we speak. The text messages are coming.
Okay. Good to know. I think Lizzie posted in the chat and said we are all spill the tea people, and that is 100% correct. Like, so true. Who hasn't gone on the second half, or have we all gone?
I think we've all gone.
Okay, cool. So no one said they wouldn't. Definitely would not follow Fenharel, which I think is interesting. Right? Nobody said Fenharel.
No, nobody did. I feel like
correct.
There's worse evils out there when it comes to the Evanuris.
Yeah.
So there's always bigger fish to fry, essentially, with these guys.
Mm-hmm. I definitely feel that.
We're saving all of that for Dreadwolf.
Well, here, this might be too big a question and something that we might have to put to another patron chat, but like, would you be Androstian?
No.
Like, let's not think about like, not the Chantry, but like the true Androstian beliefs.
No.
Probably
That's
not.
tricky.
I don't think I would. There may be respect for Andraste as a person, maybe, but not to the degree that I would follow her.
Well, okay, but
I would be,
do.
actually.
Yeah, because I'm starting to think about like what she actually did and what her actual accomplishments were, and I'm like, okay, that's compelling. She was like an anti-imperialist, wanted the best for the elves. Those are all good things. So yeah, when I'm thinking about Andraste through the lens of the Chantry, absolutely not. But through the lens of the actual history that we're given, I think I could be chill with that. I don't know if I would worship her as like a deity, but I would definitely espouse her beliefs or something.
I think I'm with you, Nick. I think I would be compelled, at least at minimum, by the story of it all. Definitely probably would not be part of the Chantry. Also wouldn't be part of the Tevinter Chantry either one of them. But I could definitely be compelled by the storytelling of it all. Wes says that Tevinters are based.
That's a take. It's
something, all right.
There's no opinion on it, but it's definitely
Just ignore him. Ignore Mr. Vaporeon Man.
I've missed the mayhem. I've missed him so.
Listen. My Templar Dami Mommy is over there.
I think that ignoring that, I think I would be one of those people who is like a part of the Chantry, but like actively trying to reform and tear it down from the inside. That might be a little me projecting my real life into Thetis, though. So,
I mean, that's
I'd
similar.
Be very similar to Varric, I think,
in my reasoning too. So, I will admit I did forget about Dirthaman. I would not call myself a certified yapper, but I am nosy, and I like to know the business, and I like to know the drama and the secrets, but I don't want to be involved in them. I will still stick with Fenharel, but I did forget Dirthaman existed, so.
So we really are on opposite sides of the discussion today, Ambrosian, but that's totally fine. Another thing that so we mentioned them all. So at least every single one of them got shouted out in some pro or con way. So, there's that. At least we're inclusive of them all. But yeah. All right. Well, Austin, I think we're ready to kind of wrap it up. If anybody else has anything to add.
Oh, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather worship the Tevinter old gods or the Evanuris? Which crazies do you want to follow?
Which one am I more likely to survive in?
Probably
Neither
the
of them,
Evanuris.
given what we know.
I think the Evanuris, because they at least I don't know. I feel like the old gods, they don't care if you live or die, whereas the Evanuris at least have a little bit of interest in the people that follow them, however minuscule that interest may be.
I mean, they need to have followers, so
Exactly.
they need to keep people alive. So it makes sense. They've invested in their followers to some degree. Whether or not they decide to go, it's time for sacrifice and, murder a bunch of them, they still need to leave the rest alive.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the old gods are less practical and more esoteric. I like what do you mean the dragon god of silence, Dumont? What is the point of that? I don't get it.
Which is so very Tevinter.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the only one that I'm maybe it would be Earthemiel because it's architecture and art and pretty things, but there's probably some weird shit that those Earthemiel priests did. We don't know.
Oh, given the architect, I'd say yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, they all have weird titles that how do you worship silence? I don't know. It's just, yeah, you're right. It's weird. I think they are, with the Evanuris, they are a little bit more practical. Okay, yeah, you're a god of sun because we need the sun to live. So that at least makes sense to me more than the old gods. But maybe we'll talk about the old gods one day on the podcast. Maybe.
I would hope that Dreadwolf delves into them a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would hope. I don't know. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. I know we've talked about this on the show before, but I'll be happy if it comes out.
It's either going to be fabulous or it's going to be terrible. There will be no in between.
I'm just ready for this summer reveal to be another voiceover still image moving to the right. Done by insert character here, with them being oh, there's a trailer coming in 2 months.
I feel not bringing up the Tevinter old gods when we all have a pretty good idea that there's going to be some involvement with Tevinter, hopefully, in Dreadwolf. I think it'd be very foolish to not drop any lore for those gods, especially if you're in that area. Especially all of the gods tie together. We don't know how, but there's no way that they aren't all intertwined. They may be different names for the same people. We don't know. Solus could have lied to everybody. Everybody could have lied to everybody at some point. Hopefully they'll clear that up. I won't get my hopes up, but it'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's
maybe
a lot of...
will come back and just slap everybody.
Maybe. I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of different possibilities, but Patrick Weeks has said that Solus never outright lies. Technically, he bends the truth. He misrepresents stuff, but he doesn't explicitly lie. So that throws a wrench into future plans, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe in a couple months, we'll have a patron chat where we can kind of break down any news that they give us. But until that day comes, we'll have to be talking about other stuff. So, Austin, I'm going to turn it over to you to let people do the shout outs and kind of wrap everything up.
All right. So we're ready to wrap this up. So we'll just go around. People can say where they can find you, plug anything you got going on, anything like that. So we'll start with the Wesbotron.
Hello. I am on the Discord. I believe I am under the Wesbotron.
All right. LVCC13.
I am LVCC13 or Lizzie, and you can find me voicing the Wasp in the Avengers audio drama on Spotify and a few other podcatchers. You can also find me on the Discord.
And Capricorn Tower.
Yep. Nick or Capricorn Tower. Check out the Discord. It's a lot of fun.
And then last but not least, Jay Ambrosian.
I am Ambrosian on Discord, and that's all I'm really on for now.
All right. Well, Shelby, I think we're ready to wrap it up. And so thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening to the Dragon Age Lorecast. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Dragon Age Lorecast. You can find us on Twitter at DA Lorecast.
If you have any lore questions, topics to unpack, or side character suggestions, join our Cups Podcasting and More Discord server. It's easily the best place on the internet. You can also support us financially through our Patreon. You can find us there on patreon.com/DragonAgeLorecast.
The Dragon Age Lorecast is part of the Robots Radio Network. For more information about the Robots Radio Network, join the Discord server via the link in our episode description.
If you enjoyed the show or learned something new today, please subscribe, leave us a review, and join the Patreon. And if you enjoyed our intro and outro music, give a big thank you to Pipeman Studios. Thank you, Pipeman. Thanks again for listening to the Dragon Age Lorecast. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ariel.
And we're the hosts of the Legend of Zelda Lorecast, a podcast about all things Legend of Zelda, from Errol to Zora,
and all the fun things in between.
If you're ready to dive deep and learn more about the Legend of Zelda lore and everything surrounding it, come join us on the Legend of Zelda Lorecast. You can find us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, or wherever else you get your podcasts.
We hope to see you soon.